Besi's success depends on our ability to continue to focus on the winners. One thing you know for certain, today's winners can very well be tomorrow's losers.
Good morning, Richard. Thanks for having us at the global headquarters of BE Semiconductors Industries. You've been with the company since 1993, basically from its inception. Can you describe us how the company has evolved in those years?
The start was exactly where we are right now. In 1st of October 1993, we were forced to set up Besi as a semi-management buyout from one company, from ASMI. And we found German investors who were interested to start on a journey to build a multiple system company for the semiconductor industries. There are three main drivers for semiconductor applications. One is the computer world, number two is communication, and number three is automotive. Since many years, for me 33 years now, those three engines are driving the demand of ever more powerful, sophisticated semiconductor development, and Besi's position in that food chain is to supply chip attach equipment, packaging equipment and plating. And over the time, all these processes have evolved in ever smaller, more complex requirements from the major players in the world.
We spoke a lot about the success of Besi. We work together, we meet on a very regular basis. And you always talk about the importance of leadership and a good, strong team. How important, can you describe that to us, how important that is to Besi?
Well, in every world it is vital to constantly develop teams which are able to be chosen as partners for the leaders, in this case the semiconductor industry, who are able to convince our customers that we are able, number one, to develop the next step in technology, and number two, to deliver that in time. And that depends on the ability of those teams who are focused on that. And if I simply reflect over time, we have made enormous progress. And that is where you always have to be focused on what do customers expect and how do their teams develop.
Mm-hmm.
Global, it's more and more a global exercise. And the uniqueness of Besi is that we have been able to develop those teams in a global structure, mirror imaging that of the teams of our customers.
But when you talk about global, with the current developments in the world, political instability, protectionism going on, how does that affect Besi to operate in this global environment with your leadership team?
Simply follow your customers. In that sense, we have a pretty easy life because the semiconductor industry is very concentrated. So to understand where our key customers are going, what their changes in requirements will be for the near-term and longer-term future, it is very simple to follow that.
Okay.
There's no magic to that other than to understand constantly what is the answer of our key customers to what you are saying the changes in the world.
Okay.
And that is very visible.
I remember that you told me that about 10, 15 years ago already, you envisioned that the development towards flatter devices was going to be critical. And you told me also that is one of the major successes of Besi, to be able to develop machines which cater to that part of the industry. And that has proven to be the truth. Now, when you look at the future, where do you think in the next 10 years, and maybe that's a long time, but in the next 10 years, the development of the semiconductor industry is going?
Well, one simple statement: pick the winners. If you look back in 33 years, we have always been able to select the next winners. A nice example in communication, the first mobiles was Motorola. Late 80s, early 90s, Motorola was leader in the first mobile phones. Then digital emerged, and that was a Nokia, but also Japanese world, and then quickly Korean world. And we followed that trend towards the digital phone world. And through Samsung, we came even further into the digital phone world. So pick the winners is a simple logic we follow, and that will not be different in the next 10 years.
So you're saying you're not only picking the winners from a customer perspective, but also from your own organization.
For your own organization.
Your own leadership team.
Sometimes you can compare it with a football team, you compare it with a match, every day is a new match. But simply that spirit is vital to the success of any organization.
And are you the lead player or are you the coach?
Well, you can look at it how you want to look at it. But in any case, my job is to see and test whether we have the right teams. And it's never perfect. And it's always a new challenge, but a positive challenge. Key is always to have positive challenges. Yeah. I've learned that over the years.
Ishad, thank you very much for spending the time. I really appreciated it. Insightful, interesting, and the future looks bright, I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you.